Bang, and we're back here for the Print Factory Thursday night football edition with the man, the myth, the legend, Big T DFS in the house. And I always forget the 44, and
Yeah.
I'm waiting for you to get mad at me.
I got mad yesterday. I noticed it right away, but then I got distracted.
You
I
didn't say
don't.
anything, though. You didn't say anything. I
Well,
was
every
waiting
show
for you to
we've done
say
shows
something.
for God knows how many years now. And you used to always just say Big T 44. Or like my Twitter, you'd always be Big T 44, never the DFS. And now you always introduce me without the 44, which is even worse. I'd rather just be Big T. I'd rather get that one guy on Twitter more clicks, whoever stole my name.
So I didn't know if you figured it out that I did the reversal from what I used to do, and I started doing it the other way after getting that guy more followers. But maybe Big T DFS will now get some followers, something like that. So either way, I'm helping out the other Big T's in the world. So you're welcome. If you want to follow Big T, it's
we're back,
Big
baby.
T
When we get
44.
Pacheco and Henry jammed in, they know us. They know how we roll. Pacheco and Henry, they know how we love our RBs in Showdown.
We love RBs in Showdown. I can't wait to talk Showdown here. We love jamming the RBs. Tony loves dusty running backs. All year, he'll talk about dusty running backs and how he can't play them. I can't wait.
We're back. Like, look at the comments. We're back with the chat. Which Whitey's is Big T locking? We're back, baby. RBs, we got Whitey's. Flowcharts coming soon. We're back.
Fresh cut. That's right. Fresh cut. I'm ready to go. I had to get my hair cut. If you missed it, we did a show yesterday. We talked futures on yesterday's Print Factory show. So if you guys want to, after this show, go back and check that out. We talked futures bets for all the divisions, our conference and Super Bowl winners. I threw out a few props that Big T hate on. And yeah, so if you want to talk about, you want to talk all that season long stuff, you want to see all those bets, you can go back and watch on this YouTube channel. You can just go back and check it out. Print Factory from last night. But tonight, Big T, we finally got a game. We got the Showdown slate, the big Showdown slate. DraftKings got some awesome contests out for this Showdown slate. The $15 Millie Maker, of course, is the big one that everyone is targeting, but they got a lot of really good contests on there besides the $15 Millie. So what's something that you kind of do day one of football, whether it's just like, I want to make sure I don't go crazy. Everyone's excited. Like, what's something, like some advice you could give someone who's just starting out and it's day one of football?
Yeah, it's hard because everyone's excited. You got everyone wanting to jump in there. Showdown maybe Sunday is going to be crazy with full slate and everyone wanting to hop in. Tonight's going to be busy too, but Sunday is going to be the main attraction too with the full slate. And obviously we got Friday game this week too, which is awesome, the first week. But yeah, I mean, you just got to take it slightly easy as much as you like it. And it's easy for me to say because I've made the mistake a million times of firing too much week one. Thursday night fire, Sunday fire, Saturday fire. But just to be honest, and talking from a rational sense too, week one's like preseason. Week two's like preseason. Week three's even like preseason. It takes about a month for the teams to get settled because they don't play preseason anymore. They used to play at least one game preseason where the guys would play 2-3 quarters, one of the games and get some reps. They don't do that anymore. So you just don't know what you're going to get. There's always shocking things. And we do all these best balls. I started this year. Now when you and Wiley do all the best ball takes, I can be involved and like say, I got 9% this guy and 12% that, and I can bore everyone with you guys. Last year,
yeah,
you guys
exactly. You can be on the team of boring the shit out of anyone that didn't play best ball during our shows now. It's great. It's perfect.
I'm in on that. I'm on the boring, but my point was we do all these drafts. I mean, we've done probably 1,000 drafts between us, and we think we know everything. We feel real good. We got our takes, and then the football games start, and what do you know? We don't know shit. That's where it comes to. We don't know anything, and that's how it goes. Like, it's preseason. Once you get week 4, week 5, you start getting more in there, at least for maybe it's just me because you said you always do better early in the season, and who knows? I haven't done best ball hard until this year myself. So maybe I'll do better early in the year. And maybe, you know what? Maybe I'm just making excuses because I've sucked in the past. But that's how I've felt. I think you need to ease into it, and ease into it means different for everybody too. I'm still putting 150 in tonight. I can't wait to play this thing. I love the teams, but Sunday you got to be a little careful. There's just too many contests. There's so much action out there, which is also great though, and why it's great to have Run Pure on your side, because we got all this new content coming out where we got new stuff this year, a 3-max sheet where we've had K Fallick, who just won 80K last night in baseball, and people love K Fallick's 3-max takes. Maybe the best 3-team person there is, JSU. I don't like to stroke him all that much, but he's the man at these 3 teams, 1 to 3 teams. He's on the 3-max. We got Mangone, who's also like a 1 to 3 team type guy. These guys are all on 3-max. The sheet's new. We got core plays with everybody you could imagine on there. We got Playbook with AP and Rubio doing that stuff. We got JBC doing all this stuff. Bryce doing all this stuff. I mean, we're loaded. We're freaking loaded this year, and I can't wait.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on. We changed up some of the sheets too, so the content's looking nice. It's looking clean. It has a little different vibe to it than in years past. So we need Fallick's core of pick of 1 QB. Mahomes. I know actually that answer, by the way. So I know the answer, but I think we need the best Fallick cores ever are the Fallick cores where there's no quarterback. There's not even a quarterback. It's not even pick one or the other. He just doesn't put a quarterback. Those are my favorite Fallick cores of all time, when there's literally no quarterback, not a choice between two, just none. You figure it out. No quarterback.
Let's go, Ace King. Welcome. You were on the bets. Now you're the full thing. It's going to be a fun year. And the nice part about the full thing, though, is this weekend, not only do we got NFL tomorrow night, we got college football tomorrow night. We got college football all day Saturday, which people love. No one's better than Bruce and freaking Wakey in there in the college. Me and Bryce, man, go and do some stuff too. But those guys are freaking incredible at college. They're in there giving their cores, their rankings. We got rankings on all the playbooks now, top plays. It's just a great weekend to join. And I don't know. If you don't like Run Pure this weekend, I'd be stunned.
And I will say too, if you're anyone just like Ace King who has a different subscription and wants to upgrade, it's easy. If you need help with anything though, shoot Captain a message in the Discord or get into that customer support chat and just add Captain in there or one of us, and we can help you guys if you're trying to figure out how to upgrade, what's the easiest way to go about doing it and everything like that. Or if you have any questions on pricing or anything, that customer support channel in the Discord, that's the best place to go. Like I said, you can add Captain, you can add one of me or Big T too if you have any questions, and we will be glad to help you guys out and try and get you switched to a different package. Let's say if you have the bets but you want the NFL package too, we can make that happen. It's a pretty easy switch. So let us know if you need any help there. Or in this chat, if you have any questions, you can ask us right now in this chat about anything from the site, and we will explain or let you guys know what it is. So RPS 15 is the promo code still going for 15% off your monthly or weekly payment. As Big T interrupts me, what would you like to say?
Right here, I wanted to agree with Vance. Bruce Fox with CFB. I agree.
Oh yeah, Bruce. I'll tell you this about Bruce. Bruce fucks with like anything he actually like puts his mind to and puts effort into, and pretty much anything that guy does, he puts a ton of effort and time into, and so he pretty much fucks at like everything he does, but especially college football, because that's Bruce right there. Bruce is grinding, Tony, every single slate. The projections over
He's
at
already got
Sports.
Because we got our side chat like getting ready for the content for the week. He's already got all the slates ready to go. Like they're not up on the site because it's not ready to go up there, but he's got it all done. All the research, all the projections, it's all ready to go already. We're all looking at NFL. He's getting all this college stuff ready.
Yeah, and that's why Bruce is the man. We need that, and Bruce does it over at Run Pure Sports. And we have college football only packages too. If you're not in, I'm assuming if you're watching this, you're into NFL, you might probably want the NFL package too. But if you were someone or knew someone who only plays college football, we have only college football packages too. We've got the single sports for NFL, college football, any sport you can think of pretty much that the DFS offers, we've got it. So come check us out. RPS 15 is that promo. Get yourself signed up and get that 15% off your monthly or weekly payment. And Tony, with that, you want to get into the game here? You ready to talk some football here? Do you want to, stroke yourself for a little bit? You stroke me. Maybe I should stroke you. Should I get into the stroke fest? Should
we
just
get into the game here? We need to get
fine.
rolling with the
No
football.
one hates being stroked more than Big T.
In some ways, in some areas, I enjoy it, but not on the shows.
No, not on the shows. I can tell you that right now. That's confirmed. All right, let's get into this here. Baltimore and Kansas City. This game's being played in Kansas City, 3-point spread. I think the total's around 46.5, 47. I think it moved to 47 over on DraftKings. Game one, like Tony said, game one, start of the season, it's kind of the tough part and the fun part of the beginning of the season is no matter what anyone tells you, there's a lot of guesswork going on here, right, Tony? There's a lot of guesswork in terms of these teams, what they're going to do. You can look at years past and be like, hey, the Ravens run the football. They're a heavy run team, especially when they get in the red zone. They love running. You can look at all that pass and, that could be true, but maybe they change it up. You just kind of never know what teams are going to do really until you kind of see it. And that's why you said weeks 1 and 2 are more of like it's kind of like you're using it as a baseline, or even weeks 3 too, to like see what happens. And then you'll have an idea of what these teams maybe are all about. But that's what makes it fun. Like that's the fun part, I think, of Showdown specifically, because you're trying to pretty much outline a game script. And, sometimes you hit the nuts. Last week, week 1, I outlined the game script. I talked about Rashid Rice. He ended up helping me ship for $50K for the first Showdown slate. And that's the only time I'll stroke myself. But it's pretty much just like have that idea. Rashid Rice was 2% owned on a slate, and no one thought he was going to get run. He ends up getting run, and he scored a touchdown like that. That's just what happened. And it helped me win $50K. You have to, have some takes outlined and just hope you're a little different from the field, but you're pretty much trying to guess out a game script in Showdown, every Showdown. But week 1, it makes it tough because you're really on an island trying to guess and figure out what these teams are going to do. So that's why you said it's kind of tougher for most people in general, right? Week 1.
I think it is, just because the way it's set up, you think like I feel very confident I know both of these teams tonight, but you don't truly know like what the rotations are with these receivers, and we think we do, but you just got to see it a little bit because the coaches don't show you a lot either. It's what makes it fun too, though, and it's why I love the Showdown, because we already like putting our own spin on stuff. So you're able to take guesses, and like some of the stuff like NBA, you need projections. Like projections are going to be very important. Don't get me wrong. You need a starting point for projections in these football games, but it's not as important. You can take stands on stuff. You can go overweight. You can guess this team's going to run a lot more this year. This team's going to throw a lot more. They're going to use the tight ends, blah, blah, blah. So I like it, but you just have to know that you're probably going to be wrong about some stuff. I mean, just in general, like you got teams like Baltimore tonight that what are they going to do with their tight ends? Are they going to play more 2 tight ends this year than they have in the past? I don't know. It seems pretty likely that they might. You like that?
I love that, actually. That was great.
Thank you. Yep. Appreciate that. But I don't know. Like they haven't done that in the past, though. Like everyone wants to do that, but will they do it this year? I don't know. They haven't that much in the past. So got to make decisions, go with it. And right as I'm updating on the show here, I'm thrown off because I think our partner SaberSim, I think just did an update because my SaberSim is like different looking than it was last time I pulled it up.
I'm scared to refresh my SaberSim because I have it up right now.
Early this morning when I did it, it looks way different than it did right now. So I think I accidentally downloaded an update that I need to play around with.
I was going to say, okay, Vinny said they did. I haven't updated it yet, so mine still looks the same. But yeah, I mean, hopefully it's not too different. Is it? Is it
it's a
like
lot.
that
I'm sure
different?
it's the same, just a little bit of an upgrade. Like some of the menu parts are at the top now. I'm sure I'll figure it out, but it looks different than when I started a minute ago.
All right, we'll see there. Yeah, and
I'm sure it's
there's
better though. Like, and if you haven't checked out
yeah.
SaberSim, I mean, we have a partnership obviously with them. I freaking loved it. I didn't used to use it for every sport. I use it for every sport now. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, Big T's hooked. He's hooked. SaberSim, #1 opto in the business. If you use an optimizer, highly recommend checking out SaberSim. They got the best product right now going in both of our opinions. All right, let's get to the game here, Tony. And yeah, I saw this. Power says fun stat. Rashad Bateman creates more separation than every other wide receiver in the league, other than Tank Dell and Deontay Johnson. I saw that little stat on Twitter. Worthy on the field or JSU in the Shut up, McNair. Don't show McNair. I'm mad at McNair right now. I don't even see him in the Discord.
Big T is not panicking. Come on. Big T is not panicking over that. I'm trying to figure it out. One of the things that I hate is I don't know how to hide the names that have a 0 projection. I can't figure it out, but I'll figure it out.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I just asked Rubio. Rubio will know. I bet you
Rubio
he already
always
knows. He knows. If you have any like questions like that, Rubio is definitely the guy to go to. He'll figure it out if he doesn't know, and then I'll let you know. All right, let's go to the top here, Tony. Let's start from the top here. Do what we normally do. We'll talk captains, and then we'll go down the entire list of players and break it down and talk about who we like, who we don't like. We always start at the top with our captains here, and you've got Lamar Jackson, Pat Mahomes. Those two guys, right off the bat, okay, they're the highest priced guys. Everyone's going to want to play quarterbacks. Before I get your take on which one you like more, or if you want to play both and jam them, what's your take here on the game in general? Do you like an over spot here? Do you like an under spot? How do you see like this game going?
Just naturally, I'm always going to like unders early in the year. The same speech I gave preseason, uglier football. Everyone's going to naturally see Mahomes and Lamar and like over. So I think there's a little bit built into that. Believe me, I would love to come on here and say I love the over. I think both teams score 30. I would love to say that. I just know how early season football goes, and I just don't see that. So I would say under is my take. I don't think it's going to be like crazy low scoring. I think both teams will move the ball a little bit, but just in general, I think I like the under a decent amount for that script.
Yeah, I'm going to be opposite of you. I like the over here. I mean,
I would have bet literally anything in the world that you like the over. Like there was no. I should start writing it down. This will be a new segment on our show where I can write down what I think you're going to say, and then I'll hold it up.
And then just talk for me. No, you just.
I'll just like hold it up like this while you're talking, and then everyone can laugh.
Yeah, but you have to hold it up like right as I start talking.
Yeah, so right when you start going, I go like this.
Yeah, so I know you're not
like writing
it down as I'm saying it. Yeah, 100%. All right, let's do that. Next show tomorrow, we have a show. That's going to be the first segment. When we get to this point where we say how the game's going to go, you got to write down exactly what I think. And we won't talk about it before. He's got to figure it out. I'm going to get the Packers are tomorrow.
Yeah, right away you're like, yeah.
Shit, he might actually guess what I'm gonna say. That's all right.
You realize that it's every single team. You
That's all right. That's all right. We'll be okay. You won't be able to do that. Long term, you will not be able to do this. You might guess one or two. You're not going to be able to guess
one or two. Oh.
All right.
I still can't figure out it. So the chat's trying to help me with this. I still don't know
God, you're still on the SaberSim thing right now?
We're on
Tony, we're live right now. Where do you think we are?
Exactly.
We're literally live.
I'm going to give a tutorial right here because I like this. SaberSim's new update right here.
You did not just screen share after I told you not to. He doesn't listen to a word I say ever, people. Like literally a word I say. It doesn't matter what I say.
I didn't think I was going to. Leave me alone. I didn't think I was going to.
There you go.
I thought I was going to not do it, and now they were explaining to me how to do it, and I don't understand where I hide the zeros at. Where's it at? It used to be over here. So I got my filter. I like to add a filter. but it still doesn't hide them. It still doesn't hide the zeros.
Let's go, chat. Big T needs help. We just pulled this up
right
on the
here,
screen.
like 49-1. Add a new filter.
Vincent says add new
filter?
filter.
Watch, I'll delete the filter. Filter. My projection greater than 1. Like, hit the what gear? Where's the gear at? Whoever helps me, we got new gear coming on the way. Whoever I actually read gets the new gear. Where's the gear? This thing? Yeah, the eyeball's gone. I'm with Greek. The eyeball. The eyeball's not there. That's what I'm looking for. There's no eyeball. It's got to be right in front of my face, though.
Maybe go in the Saber chat, Tony, and ask them. Literally, just go right to the source.
That would be too easy. It's like when you're putting something together that you get from like the store. You can't read the directions. You just got to go.
Well, of course, I don't read directions.
Oh, right here. It could be it. Let's see. Nope. The gear between build lineups, they say. This thing? Nope, not here.
Chat, this is going to drive him nuts until you help him figure it out. He is not going to stop.
Gear next to max lineups? Right here, I just clicked that one. I'm looking at, what does that have to do with anything? That doesn't have to do with anything. Quarterback only. I'm by projection. Now I got everyone. Yeah, it switched. That's my favorite comment. Yeah, switched the whole.
Can we give TJ some gear? Can we give TJ some gear?
Yeah. TJ gets some gear for that. I like that.
That's good.
All right. That was enough. We can shut it down on the screen.
All right. Shut it down. There you go.
If you want to hide zeros everywhere that has same projection, yeah, I got it.
We'll figure it out. Tony will actually ask
most people probably don't even care. That's an OCD thing. I don't like to have all the like riffraff in there.
There's gotta be something that you hit to get rid of those zeros. There just has to be.
Has to be.
Yeah. All right. Back to this here. All right. You like the under. I like the over. I just think this Chiefs team is going to, I think they're going to, this is the opposite of how I felt. And I know you feel the same way about this Chiefs team just in general. I'm not saying this specific game, just in general for the season, where we didn't really like their offense, mainly because their weapons weren't that good last year. Like they didn't have good weapons. And that resulted in my opinion, Travis Kelce having a rough year. And you know, I think it was just hard when he was just the only guy. And now they just brought in all this speed. I know Hollywood Brown's not going to play, but they have Xavier Worthy, Rashid Rice, another year in the system. I think this is just a different Chiefs team, Tony. Even though they won the Super Bowl, that's kind of scary to say, but it's just the truth. Like, I think their offense is going to be so much harder to stop with these weapons that they have, another year in the system and the new speed they got with Worthy. So, yeah, I'm going over in this game. You got the under. Let's talk about the quarterbacks here at the top. What are you doing at captain? You got Mahomes, you got Jackson. We'll throw in Travis Kelce and Derrick Henry. We'll do like that 9K and up range. What are you doing with these studs in the captain?
Yeah, so the number one talking point tonight will be just the salaries are so soft. Like you have so many cheap guys that are way underpriced, which means everyone's going to play Mahomes and Lamar for good reason. I mean, we're all going to play them both. They're going to score the points. It's tough not to, but you have to know just in general that everyone's going to see the same thing you are. And a lot of casuals play tonight too. What are they going to want to do? Play the two quarterbacks too. So two great plays, two guys that I love in fantasy, even though I don't love Lamar as a quarterback. Obviously, he's great fantasy-wise. Mahomes is, like you said, I agree with you. The passing game is going to be awesome this year. I love both of them. So it's just a matter of what do we do? How high do we go on both? All of that kind of stuff. And so for me, I've always been one that just doesn't worry about ownership that much when I think it's just the right play. And like always, I know it's not shocking, but I'll be on the passing games. There's not as much running games tonight. So I'm just going to have a ton of these guys. As far as captain, though, I probably will be underweight on captain on these guys just because of the ownership. And I still think you can attack through the receiver. And there's a lot of receivers we like tonight. At least I do, and I'm sure you do too, in this game. So, I mean, if we think the ownership, I don't know what to project these guys at. I mean, you're talking maybe 30% each, maybe. I mean, just totally off the top of my head.
My first
60%.
run, I was getting a lot of Pat Mahomes and a lot of a good amount of Lamar. So
just for argument's sake, I think we can go somewhere between 60% range captain from these two. So I'll probably be a little bit under that, but even a little under, if I play 20% or something, I feel good about that because I like the receivers. I want 15, 20% of some of these receivers as we get to receivers. So I guess my take's a little boring with quarterback, but I do love both of them. And one thing I want to do with Mahomes too, not Lamar, but Mahomes, I want 2 pass catchers. I know he can move a little bit. He's not going to run as much regular season. And I like the pass catchers on top of it. So that's a rule right out of the gate. I want 2. I don't need 2 with Lamar, though, obviously, because he can get you on the ground. So that would be the only difference with the quarterback position for me.
yeah, I think for me, first of all, I agree with you. If you're playing Mahomes in the captain spot, you definitely need 2 pass catchers. Lamar, like you said, he can get there. He could rush for 100 yards and score 2 touchdowns. Like that wouldn't be shocking. So like he could legitimately be the captain and have only 1 pass catcher or even none with the type of upside that he has. That's just the type of upside that Lamar has. But for me, I'm going to take your take and go a little further. I'm going to have very little of the quarterbacks in the captain in general. I like Pat Mahomes a lot. He would be the guy I'd pick if I had to pick one of these quarterbacks. But I think your point about the receivers and also the pricing, we're going to get to the pricing in a little bit on some of the mid-tier guys. But I think they just make your lineup so much better when you look at them, like when you can get both quarterbacks in there. And those mid-tier guys allow you to do it. So I'm going to be probably fading those quarterbacks in the captain, which will be, definitely a little bit of a hot take because I think they're going to be very popular. But the other 2 guys in this range, Travis Kelce and Derrick Henry, I'm going to actually be over on because if I'm fading those plays, I need the 2 other studs with the most upside. And these 2, I think, are them for both their teams. I think personally, Travis Kelce is the biggest beneficiary of the speed that the Chiefs have now on the team because when you have downfield threats, teams have to account for that. Last year, their downfield threat was MVS. So, I mean, were teams really afraid of MVS? They were afraid of Mahomes. They weren't really afraid of MVS. Now, they're going to have to be afraid of Worthy. And when Brown comes back, Brown. And it's just going to create more openings underneath when you have that speed where you have to worry about someone getting over the top on you. And I think that's going to help Kelce have a better season, have a more efficient season than last year with more openings. So I like Travis Kelce and I like Derrick Henry because if I don't like Lamar, well, how do they score points and Lamar doesn't hit the captain? I think Derrick Henry needs to vulture 1, maybe 2 touchdowns in that scenario if it's an over game, right, Tony? And if it's an over game and they're scoring, I'm going to need points if that's the case. And I think Derrick Henry's the guy that could steal those, especially at the goal line. Like I said in the beginning, this was a team last year who ran inside the 10. They were top 5 in run plays percentage wise. So, with Derrick Henry there, I don't think that's going to change them being top 5. Like they're going to keep running the football with Derrick Henry. Gus the Bus had 13 touchdowns last year. Derrick Henry's going to have double-digit touchdowns this year probably. So, that's my take here. I like Kelce and Henry. I'm fading in the captain spot specifically, not overall in the captain, fading Mahomes and Lamar. So what are you doing? You didn't really touch on Henry and Kelce as much. What are you doing with them in the captain?
Yeah, I won't have them in the captain. I don't like the price points at all. I don't like how Kelsey's 9,600. He's only 800 less than Mahomes. I will not be, and I'll even go down a little further just because I think Pacheco can kind of. I'm not going to play Pacheco definitely in the captain either. So for me, I will definitely be higher on Lamar and Mahomes. I'm not going to have any Kelsey, Henry, Pacheco in the captain for sure.
That's kind of why I don't think Kelsey is going to hit as much in the captain. At the projection.
People always play Kelsey, like always.
But at the projections, like when I did my drive around and say I got barely any Travis Kelsey.
Yeah.
And again, maybe it was the projection, and maybe around the industry the projections are, higher on Kelsey than
no, I mean it's just his price point because he's so close, but so many casuals are gonna play him though.
Yeah, I still think it's going to be lower than what you think at the end of the day.
And
but
I'm just super low on Kelsey this year too, so that's another reason.
Is that your first best ball take in show of the year?
I mean, I don't have any Kelsey, so yeah.
I was waiting for it. Tony faded.
I don't like Kelsey at all.
So he's out on Travis Kelsey here. JSU going with the I hate money strategy. Opening day, probably a good idea to get out. Well, what are you going to do? I guess I hate money then. Just going to go with my takes. All right. We agree on Pacheco, so I don't have to, touch on that. You I'm with you on what you said. So let's go down a bit further. You got the pass catchers now, right? These are the guys, Zay Flowers, Rashid Rice, both guys kind of came on, especially the second half of the year. Both these guys started to figure it out, I think, and you saw them play better and better as the season went on. You would assume that would go right into this year. And then you got Mark Andrews, 6,400, which I think is, a very nice price tag for a tight end that we know Lamar loves throwing to the tight end. That's a cheap price tag. He has upside too. And then should we even we'll throw in the other pass catchers, Worthy and Bateman, because they're kind of they're a little lower than them, but we'll throw them in there with these guys. What are you doing with these pass catchers? Because there's a lot of them, and you can't play all of them in the captain, I would assume. But I'm guessing this is where you want the meat of your captain ownership.
Yeah, and honestly, as we go down, I'll just keep talking both captain and flex, just because it kind of goes hand in hand for me.
Right.
And this is just my range. And it's going to be everyone's range, though. I mean, these prices are crazy. Besides Zay Flowers, who is priced fairly, Rashid Rice is probably close to fair. But man, you get Andrews, Worthy. I mean, the two most mispriced players on the board to me are definitely Andrews and Worthy. And I mean, just for example, like if you start your teams tonight, even with Mahomes, let's just say Lamar, because Lamar's the most expensive. I like Mahomes more like you do, but let's just, for argument's sake, you start Lamar, Mahomes, Andrews, and Worthy. You're still at 5,150 for your last two spots with those four guys in there. And I mean, honestly, at the prices, like if you want like a cash core, like there's no way the cash core isn't those two quarterbacks and Mark Andrews. Like it's just the most obvious thing I've ever seen in my life. Like that's just what it is. So how do you get different? That's always where we can talk. I'm not as much on the side of you have to get too crazy, especially with these two teams who I honestly don't think they go very deep. Like the cheap guys tonight that people are going to take stabs on, I don't love. I mean, in your 150, obviously you should have some of these cheaper guys. But man, when you're just jamming stuff, I mean, these mid-tier plays are just so good. So to polish up this range, I mean, I love Zay Flowers just because of his price. I think Rashid Rice, all these other guys, like everyone's going to play Mark Andrews before Flowers. So that makes Flowers pretty interesting. Rashid Rice might be, just because not everyone's as high on Xavier Worthy as we are. Like the Sabre projection's low. Some other places are low. I'm like crazy high on Xavier Worthy, and I know you are too. And especially in Showdown, where, I mean, if he houses one deep one at 5,800, you're just in very, very good shape. So I love this range. I don't know any other way to put it, but and I don't love Bateman, but Bateman's going to get no ownership. I mean, none. And no one's
because of his price tag. because of his price
Yeah.
tag. Yeah.
He's the same price as friggin' Mark Andrews and Xavier Worthy, and the kickers are right below. And you got two great kickers in this game, two kickers that can crush. So, but that makes Bateman a great play. Like, I'm interested in Bateman. He's always been injured. I haven't liked him in the past. I still don't really like him, to be honest, but I
No,
like him in
Bateman's the guy
showdown
that we
format.
hate, but because everyone hates him, he becomes a good showdown play because
Yeah.
we know the entire field hates him. We're not the only
And you
one
don't
that
have
hates
to go crazy on plays like this. He's going to
him.
be probably 15. You can get 30% and be way above the field. Like,
Oh,
and these are
yeah.
pass catchers. Like, you just have so many outs to get there. So, just to rank this range, though, just because this is my favorite range by a mile, I got to go Xavier Worthy 1. I think I'm just going opposite of the price as far as rankings. Worthy, Andrews, Rice, Flower. I'm still putting Bateman 5th just because he's definitely the 5th best play, but I still want more than the field. And you got to remember with these guys, none of these guys end up that high owned. Like, Xavier Worthy could end up like 30%, which is just crazy to me. That's too low. So I would rather just jam the really good plays and then take one stab per team. Take one cheap guy, leave salary, do stuff like that. And the more honestly I look at some of these prices, it's going to be tough for those quarterbacks not to be higher captains. I mean, it's so easy to fit them, like so freaking easy.
You know what they did, Tony? They said, "Oh, the casuals? Yes, all casuals come play tonight, please, because we made this as simple as you could make a showdown slate. They made it for all the casuals." But hey, that's what it is. And I kind of agree with you on like the really cheap plays. Like, I don't really see anything in like the really cheap stuff that I'm gonna probably play, but you don't really need to. And like you said, you can get two quarterbacks in builds with a mid-tier cat, like literally
Do
a
you see
mid-tier
yourself
captain.
fading those you're probably playing 150 night one, right? Or no?
Yeah.
Do you see yourself fading them in anything? I'm talking just in one of the two
Like,
spots.
are you saying like fading one of or
No,
fading
I
like
mean either one. Like, you're going to fade them in some, like, I don't think I'm going to fade them in anything. And that
I'm
could
not
mean
gonna fade them.
100% flex.
I'm not gonna fade them in the util.
That's what I mean. Like,
Yeah, no,
yeah.
because in my scenario, how does not one of those quarterbacks hit the winner in an
Well, I mean
over
both
of
though. That's what
47?
I'm saying. Both in every team.
I could honestly see myself jamming both if I really I see the problem is that in a Derrick Henry like smash game, do both of them get there? Maybe not. So there's specific guys, but like on a Worthy team, on a Mark Andrews team, on a any of those mid-tier like Zay Flower, I just put them both in there. Like, I don't see how both of them aren't in majority of my builds. I bet you I got like 65 to 70% of both at the end of my runs. That's where I'm gonna probably be on both. So maybe that's a little light. You think that's like field on both?
What'd you say?
It's like
65?
70%.
Yeah, I mean, they got to be like 80 plus.
Oh, okay. So I'd be even under the field. Then maybe I got to be a little higher. I don't know. I haven't done like my final runs. I just did like my initial runs and stuff like that. So
I mean, you never know, but I can't imagine that they're not in the 80s, just the way the pricing sets up.
yeah, no, you're probably right. They're probably in the 80s. I could see even one of them being like 85 or 90, just like
easy. Yeah. The
it's
pricing is
so
just
easy.
so soft.
So how I'd rank them, I'm probably with you on like I'm definitely with you. Worthy 1 for me. The Ravens, they always have good defenses for the most part, but the one thing, they're always super aggressive. And when you're super aggressive, it's good because you're going to create turnovers and make plays, but you can also make mistakes when you're really aggressive and stuff like that. And you make one mistake against a guy like Worthy with the amount of speed that he has, and that's house, right? That's like he's taking that thing 60 yards if you make one little mistake. So he's a guy that I definitely want to be higher on. I like your Zay Flowers take just in general. He's probably gonna be a guy that people kind of forget about in that range of the pass catchers at his price tag. So I like that. And then, you got Mark Andrews, who I agree with you is probably going to be the cash play. I'm going to have some. I'll probably be lower on the field because I could see him coming in really high owned, like for captain, Tony. Like I could see him coming in. What do you think? Like 15, 20%?
I don't think it'll get that high. There's just too many good plays. I mean, there's
It's
not enough
just such an
percentage.
easy click, though.
But you don't need the salary though. Like
So if I
it
go
doesn't get you
Andrews,
anything really.
so Andrews in the captain with Lamar and Mahomes, that gives you 6,200 for your last 3 spots.
Yeah, but I mean, you got 5,100 just putting a quarterback in there. So you only lose 1,000 putting a quarterback over him.
Yeah, but then everyone's going to go to like Kelsey or Henry, and that leaves you 4,500 for 2 spots. And you talked about it. The kickers are right in that price range. There's so many guys like in that price range. I don't know. I just feel like it's such an easy build, but I mean,
it is an easy build tonight. That's one of the things we got to work with. All the builds are going to look great tonight because the pricing's so soft.
But this goes into my next take, or my other take, which, I was likely to get into, which is Isaiah Likely. I think he's the perfect pivot off of someone like Andrews. I think he's the worst
play of the night by a mile, so I'm glad you said it, because this is everyone's take. Your take is everyone's take. It's Rubio's
why is he going to come in? He's going to come in lower owned.
No,
he's going to come in lower owned because people don't know if they're going to play 2 tight ends. I think he's too good to like just sit on the sideline, and I think the Ravens know that too.
That's what makes too good. Great, because I knew we were going to argue about this coming in.
Perfect. He's, by the way, too,
likes Likely, and they've never gone 2 tight ends ever.
Just so you know, too, I had a no sweat bet on, shout out DraftKings, #DK partner, DraftKings Sportsbook. I had a no sweat bet. I put my no sweat bet on Mr. Isaiah Likely to score the first touchdown at 35-1, Tony. 35-1 for Mr. Isaiah Likely to score the first touchdown bet. He was 6-1. I think that's come down a little bit, but I still like that. I think that's pretty high for a first touchdown for a guy like Isaiah Likely.
First touchdown guarding the water bucket.
All right, whatever, Tony. You can take. I don't know who you're gonna fucking take. Nelson Aguilar.
I mean, I'm gonna be way chalkier. So
yeah, that's a boring first touchdown bet. And on top
of it, I'm just saying, literally, the likely to be the dude tonight is a more boring take than you think. Like, everyone is saying that. I've heard so many people say that.
Then why is he going to come in lower owned?
Because the pricing's so soft. You
Perfect.
Don't need the
so I'm going to take advantage of that. And when he scores a touchdown like Rashid Rice did last year, I'm going to win. Because that's the same thing that happened last year. You're going to win
because Isaiah Likely scores a touchdown?
Yeah, it's the same thing that happened last year with Rashid Rice. I'm telling you this right now. That is one of those plays where you hate the lower range, but he's the one guy at least I can pull out of the lower range and say, this guy at least has somewhat of a path. Whether it's Mark Andrews doesn't play the full game because he just got in a car accident a couple weeks ago, even though he's not on the injury report and everything like that. They could just be downplaying everything. Who knows? I have no idea. Mark Andrews also coming off of a serious injury from last year, right? Like he's coming off a serious injury. Who knows the beginning of the season if they want to give him full reps on game 1? I know they're playing the Chiefs, but they know Isaiah Likely can be a solid guy to back him up. Maybe they give him more looks earlier in the season. I don't know. I think all that is very possible. You obviously don't think so, but this is the fun of the first week is we're both guessing, and we could be. I could be wrong
too, though, because you can take stands and you can go with it for sure.
Yeah. But so yeah, I'm gonna like him. You're not gonna like him. That's fair. A few other guys in the range just above him though that I kind of skipped over because I wanted to get to him. You talked about the kickers, Tucker and Butker. I don't know if you have a preference on either one of them or if you kind of see them as pretty much the same. They're 2 of the better kickers in football. I would assume in your game script of under, they kind of fit a lot of builds, I would assume. So I'm guessing you're higher than the field.
2 of the best kickers in football, 2 of the best offenses in football, 2 great kickers. The only issue is, so we've always jammed kickers, but they were always 3,600, 3,800. Now they're $1K more expensive, and all the other players are cheaper. So, like, we were some of the first kicker people. I mean, we won one of the best Run Pure nights ever was kicker captain. Everyone made fun of us.
Graham Gano.
Everyone won all the money with it. But it's different now. And these guys, I mean, Xavier Worthy's 800 more than a kicker. We're still playing Showdown where we want upside. I'm actually like lower on the kickers, but that being said, I still like them. They're still going to be in, but I mean, we got projected ownership like 20% on these guys. I definitely don't want to be above the field on that. I want to be between 10 and 20% type thing for the kickers. I like them, but man, I mean, you look at the prices. I just think they're overpriced a little bit in this spot for sure.
They are, but they both also provide massive upside.
I mean,
like
they're
both
floors too. Like they do give you good floors. They're great kickers. I mean, they are obviously. So it's one of those things you just got to decide, and they definitely could outscore Xavier. I mean, Xavier Worthy's still boom or bust. He could easily get 3 points tonight. I feel confident saying Tucker and Butker get 8, 9, 10 points tonight in that range, maybe even a little more. Will that be enough though, with the way the pricing is set up to win you? I mean, it's a million.
It kind of just depends on how much scoring there actually is in the game, right? Because 8, 9, 10 might, for one of them, get them on the winner. Maybe not both, but for one of them. Yep. Maybe if it's real low scoring, they're the only ones doing the actual production and they both get on the winner. So you don't really know, but I'm kind of with you. It's like, I'm good to be at the field with those guys. Like for my 150, I think I'm going to be at the field with the kicker. So that's kind of where I'm at. I don't really like either one more.
This dude says, so you got P. Ryan and you got Juju, who were on different teams in the player pool until like today or yesterday, whenever they changed it. I can't imagine their points aren't counting. I don't know what the message says, but they will be in for a shitstorm if one of these guys scores like a touchdown or something and they don't count the points. Like, don't put them on there. They have to count the points, I would assume, but I don't know for sure. I can't imagine if they're in that player pool, they're not counting points, though. I'll say that much. Why would they put them in the player pool if they don't count points?
No, there would be no reason to, but I'm looking at the message.
And they will have a shitstorm if it.
Juju, I'm looking at the message right now. Juju Smith-Schuster signed with the Chiefs. He will not acquire points for the Patriots. There you go, for the Patriots.
For the Patriots.
And the same thing.
I'll go out on a limb right now and say there's no way that they're if they did do that, they would send out a message for sure to make sure people know. There's no way they deal with that night one.
Yeah, I'm seeing it for the Patriots. I see Samaje Perine signed with Kansas City. He will not acquire. Oh, I could see where it'd be confusing. It says he will not acquire points. Check your lines.
I shouldn't have even brought it up.
Main slate. That could be for main slate, though. Is he in the main slate pool or something? Yeah, he is. So if you have lineup
Showdown for sure, there's no way they're not.
No. What I'm saying is if you have lineups already like entered for main slate, that could be the alert you're seeing could be for main slate, not for Showdown. So that's a little confusing. I won't lie. All right. Back to this though. So who are we at? The kickers. The other guys there, you got P. Ryan, Justice Hill in this range. Which I gave out yesterday. Justice Hill, his receiving prop was 7.5 or 8.5. I can't remember yesterday on the show. It's already up to 10.5 on DraftKings. It's moving up. I think it's one of the better props on the board. Obviously, it's moved up 2 yards now, but I still think he's going to get some good work. I mean, they're down probably multiple running backs here. So it's going to be Hill and Henry that do everything, Tony. So, I think Hill's got to be a decent play for PPR scoring. I don't hate him. I think him and P. Ryan are very similar plays, though. So it's kind of a toss-up. I don't know if you have a preference on one or the other.
I mean, I like both. I think both are really good plays, too. I think Justice Hill could get more work than people think. So, yeah, I really like Justice Hill as a pivot play. And, I mean, Henry's not going to get the same work that he got in Tennessee, which is another reason I'm lower on Henry. Granted, Henry can house one and do a lot of damage and less carries too. But I'm super high on a lot of these guys as different guys. Justice Hill and P. Ryan. I love P. Ryan. I know he hasn't been there that long, so there's a little risk, but I just think he fits the need in a style like this. Third down work, stuff like that. I like him. But I also like this range, like defenses early in the year. I think they're both definitely in play. Like I like the D's more than the kickers tonight, just because of ownership and just how it's early in the season. I think you could see defensive scores tonight. So I'm actually higher on the D's. And I actually like these receivers down here a little bit too, like Aguilar. I think he's a decent play at 3,400. Justin Watson, 3,200. I don't like him as much, but he's in play though. He's a showdown type guy that could win the money. The only guy that I'm lower on in this whole range is your boy Likely. I'm so low on Likely.
You like Tez Walker?
Down real quick.
You like Tez Walker?
I don't love Tez Walker. I don't see it with him. I'd rather just pay what 1,000 more and get Aguilar. I'm really not that high on all these guys lower. Noah Gray, 1,600. I'll have some, and these are perfect like flyers down here. I'll filter almost all these guys in just a little bit. I mean, even Juju, I'll throw a little flyer on Juju because at the top we're all going to agree. Down here could be where you win $1 million tonight if you hit whichever. Our boy Deontay Hardy's in there. I don't know. The best way to say, I guess, ranking, we could rank them like below, say, 3,400 and lower because it's below the D's. And I like Justice Hill and P. Ryan the most out of all these guys, but the rest of them, I mean, I don't like Sky Moore. Hardman could always pop too. Like everyone's talking about the new guys. Hardman, you never know. He's got house ability too. Noah Gray could catch a touchdown. I don't have any like flaming hot takes down in the bottom, but actually my take is that I don't like Isaiah Likely and you love him. So that's kind of our disagreement at the bottom. But I would much rather have Aguilar over Likely for me personally.
Aguilar is definitely, I think, safer because they like him down in that red zone area.
It's funny because so just for example, I have the exact same projection for Aguilar, Watson, and Likely. So you obviously rank it Likely, Aguilar, Watson, probably.
I got mine. Hold on, I'll tell you right now. Wait 1 sec. I got mine. Let's see. Where's Aguilar? Yeah. Likely Aguilar, Watson.
Yeah.
But I have Likely and Aguilar kind of close because I actually like the Ravens. Like I like Justice Hill. I'm with you on that take. I like Likely. I like Nelson Aguilar. I think all three of those guys are pretty solid, like cheaper plays. I like them more than the Chiefs' cheaper plays. I like them more than P. Ryan and Watson and Hardman and Gray, like all those guys that you were talking. Like I like those three guys. So I think that's where like I'm probably going to build. I'm probably going to play more of like the Chiefs studs, the Worthies, the Rice, the Kelseys, and I'm probably going to be higher on the Ravens cheapies in my builds personally because I think there's more paths to like those guys catching touchdowns, the Nelson Aguilars, the Isaiah Likeleys, the Justice Hills, than there is like listen, like you don't think the Chiefs are designing how to get Worthy the football, like get him in the, of course they are. They were talking about his confidence building just off that one preseason bomb where Pat Mahomes told him after that he should have ran it in for a touchdown instead of falling down. But both him and Andy Reid were like, hey, he's building confidence. Like they're going to keep trying to build his confidence. Rice is going to get the ball. Kelsey, I think it's going to be, and Pacheco, like, you know, it's going to be very concentrated with those four guys. So I'm going to be in on 3 of the 4, not as much Pacheco. I'll have very little Pacheco, but I'll have some just because it's 150. But, you know, I'm going to be super heavy on those 3 guys. And then I'm going to be heavier on the Chiefs the Ravens cheapies. So that's kind of my take. What are you doing with like the builds? Like, are you in on like 5-1, 4-2, 3-3? Are you like
Definitely
super
not
high on
5-1 in
one?
this game for me. I prefer 3-3, but obviously 4-2s are fine too when you start running them. Definitely not 5-1s in this spot though. I don't see that happening. So for me, honestly, I like 3-3, but 4-2's fine as well.
You like the water bucket comment. You like that water bucket comment. So
you're gonna like
there
that
you
even
go.
more later.
Yeah. I won't like it if he's guarding the water bucket all game. I'll tell you that right now. That's something I won't like.
He's likely to guard the water bucket.
There you go. All right, keep it coming here. Keep it coming. I like when I get shit talked. It's fine. I'll take it.
At least you got Gregory on your side. You and Gregory can hold hands. That should tell you how your take ranks. That's his favorite play of the night.
I didn't know that was his favorite play of the night, but it doesn't make me feel confident in in my likely play.
Earlier when I was setting up the new core sheet, the first thing up there it just said Gregory likely. It was the only thing.
Oh, he's playing him in the core. Like he's
he
a
loves his favorite
captain.
play.
I mean,
he loves him.
He's a captain. So I don't mean core play. I mean captain play.
I don't know if he's playing him in the. I mean, that's really crazy. You're doing that? You're popping him in the captain?
No, I thought you meant he had him in his core as captain. That's what I thought you meant. Not he had him in his core. I mean, listen, he's cheap enough. He doesn't have to do that much to be on a winning team. Like literally doesn't have to do. He could catch 2 balls for 20 yards and a touchdown and be on the winner easily. Like it doesn't take that much from someone that cheap. So that was kind of my point when I was comparing him to Rice from last year. Is he was kind of similar. He was cheap, right? And lower owned. And all he had to do was go 2 for 29 and a touchdown or whatever he did. Like, I don't think you would be floored if Isaiah Likely went 2 for 29 and scored a touchdown.
Yeah, I wouldn't be. I could see that.
Yeah. So it doesn't take that much is more my point. But all right, let's get you kind of went down all the way. I'm not in on Sky Moore. No friggin' way. McCole Hardman, Juju. I'm not doing Juju. Tony, I don't know if you touched on Juju, but I can't.
I mean, I said that I could like if he hits on like 3% or something, that's fine. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I'd go Hardman over Juju if I had to like pick one straight up, but I know they're not the same price.
I mean, all these guys down here are going to be single digit owned, so like any take at all is overweight for the most part.
One more guy, Carson Steele, $200. Tony, I heard some people talking about him.
I'm not playing.
Don't like Carson Steele.
Your size with a mohawk. He's your size and he's got a mohawk.
Why can't you just say I'm not playing him? You have to throw size into this conversation, all right?
He's your size and he's got a mohawk. He looks like he's playing at the YMCA. I'm not freaking playing a dude that plays YMCA football. You're faster than him too. You're the same size and faster than him.
I don't think I'm faster than him. I'm fast, but I don't think I'm faster than him. I'll just throw that out there. But I'm with you on not playing him. I saw some people in chat talking about it, about how he's
again at the bottom. Like if I play 5% Carson Steele, I'm fine with that. He's not hitting even close to any of my main teams though.
Fucking bullshit. It always has to come up at some point. Tony always has to bring it up. Of course, size matters. All right. 12-team PPR. Oh, season-long question. Do we do these, Tony?
No. Fine. Go ahead.
I thought you were going to answer.
Oh, I got to answer it. Xavier Worthy, always.
There you go. Xavier Worthy. I was going to say that too. So there we go. Always. I like that. All right. We went through this. Let's do this, Tony. We got to give our play of the day, and then we got to give our winners, our bets. Yeah, you got to give the winners and the bets. Oh, and I'll give a single game parlay that I got cooking.
There we go.
You want to give your first winner before we give plays of the day?
Yeah, I'll give my stuff, and then you can finish. I mean, my play of the day for sure, which we've talked about a bunch. And again, I don't think he's going to be as high owned as he should be, but Xavier Worthy's my play of the day. I mean, I think he's very, very easy of a play, but I don't think other people agree with it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he ends up way higher than I think. But either way, he's my favorite play of the day. He'll probably be my captain on my main team. I love him tonight. And my winner's the Chiefs. I know a lot of people are on the Ravens. I think the Chiefs, we're known as the Chief haters in some parts. That changes this year. We're on the Chiefs wagon here. And I think they might go undefeated. So I am very, very high on the Chiefs. I think they might blow them out. I think they might. That could be a hot take. I think they might put it on them a little bit. I think Baltimore might be due for a little regression.
I like that. Okay, blowing out Baltimore week 1.
I love the Chiefs this year. I think the Chiefs are like they had nothing last year and they won the Super Bowl. I think they are loaded up.
Yeah, they lost a couple defensive players, but man, they loaded up on offense. It's like the opposite now. Like this defense was really good. The defense will probably still be good, but the offense is going to be awesome. I think we both agree on. So yeah, I like it. I hope it's not a blowout just for my DFS lineups. I hope it's a back and forth, but hey, if it's a blowout, I'll take the Chiefs dominating because I got a ton of Chiefs in best ball. My single game parlay, I gave this out yesterday, but I'm going to give it out again. Xavier Worthy, receiving yards 40 plus. Mark Andrews, receiving yards 40 plus. Travis Kelce, over 56.5 yards. Justice Hill, over 8.5 yards. Now it's over 10.5 yards. I still like the 10.5 on DraftKings Sportsbook. I had a boost. So I boosted that thing up to just over 10-1. I like that thing. I think if you wanted to add another prop to it, I think you could go Mahomes over on passing yards. I think it's 269.5 right now. That perfect number, Tony, over 269.5. I think Mahomes can get over that number. So there's another prop that we'll throw in there that I like. So there's my single game parlay. If you want to tail that,
just all the overs tonight.
All the fish overs, baby. All the fish overs.
I wasn't going to say the fish roll. Part. I was just saying all the overs. You had.
I know what you were thinking. That's okay, though. I don't give a shit. That's why this show is great. You can shit on me. I can shit on you. I'm going to own you with this damn parlay. I'm going to own you with this damn parlay.
I hope you do. I'll be honest. I hope you do.
If you want an under, Mangone gave, I actually thought it was a pretty good under, too. McCole Hardman, under 8.5 yards. Mangone gave that out on his stupid bets video that he walked around with or whatever that everyone's just doing now. They're all just walking around. Bets. Yeah, they're doing the walking bets thing. Guys, listen, you can't do walking bets. You want to know why? Because you're a dude. You can't do walking bets. It doesn't work. Like, it just doesn't fucking work, all right? And first of all, don't call it walking bets. Call it something cooler. Walking winners. I don't know, like something cooler than walking fucking bets. Like, come on, a little creativity. You're a male. It doesn't work anyways. You might as well be a little creative with it. I'm sorry. You just got nothing. All right. That's my rant. Chiefs win. Chiefs money line. Chiefs minus the 3. Chiefs. We're rolling with the Chiefs tonight. So, Tony, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, considering we were Chiefs haters last year.
How much we love the Chiefs this year after we've shit talked them for years. Can't be good, but I'm going to ride with it still.
And if you want all the other content we got, RPS15 is the promo code, 15% off your first weekly or monthly payment over at Run Pure Sports. Hit the like button on the video if you enjoyed it. And also, we got a bunch of new content. We restructured a bunch of the content too. I got a 3 max along with K Falic and Mangone. We'll all be on the 3 max sheet this year and giving out our 3 favorite cores for if you were doing like the 3 max, 3 entry max contests and stuff like that. Our favorite, kind of cores and why we like them for each one. So we'll be doing that for all the main showdown slates and the main slate. So if you like that content here, if you're a 3 entry max player or single entry player, that's probably a good sheet to look at. And then Tony will have his full player pool for all the main showdowns and the main slate. So he'll have the full Big T player pool. And then we still got the playbooks, the core plays with the whole crew on the core plays with their main team core. Ton of content going on, full Discord. Run Pure Sports, RPS15. Follow us on Twitter, at Big T 44 DFS and at JSU Rab to get in there. Follow us. I'll be posting some bets on Twitter. I've been firing, so I got a few bets that I've been rolling out, and I can't wait. I got a nice parlay for Sunday, Tony. I'm waiting to hit the send button on this parlay.
Not freaking have all overs when you give it to me.
Dude, I'm gonna win $1 million. That's all I know. I'm gonna win $1 million tonight, and I'm gonna win $1 million with my parlay on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Follow DraftKings, get in there, get the contest. Big T, anything else here before we get out of here?
No, I'm super excited. Football's back, and not just tonight. I mean, we got everything rolling into the weekend. College, MMA, everything this weekend. So great time to be a member at Run Pure. Get in the Discord. They'll be back tonight at 6:30, I think. Wiley, JBC fresh off a big win the other night. I mean, it just awesome stuff. So check us out. I guarantee you won't regret it, especially this time of year. As good as it gets.
As good as it gets, people. With that, we're going to get out of here. Hope you enjoyed the show. 6:30 Eastern time, Wiley and JBC will be back on this channel. Check them out. And we'll be back tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern time, I'm pretty sure, for this same show. Another game to break down. We got another great showdown slate, so I can't wait for that. For Big T and myself, JSU, hopefully one of you guys runs pure and ships that milli. Until then, we're out of here. Peace.